the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is January 11th, 111-111-111-25. Welcome to another live edition of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. And I am coming to you from a snowy Virginia Beach. That's right. If you go to my Facebook page, you can see I posted a picture of what the view is outside my front window. Not shoveling snow, but the grass is covered. The sidewalk looks a little icy. It's kind of nice and picturesque, but I'm glad I don't have to shovel it. Anyway, thank you for making us part of your day. Another Saturday. We are 2 Saturdays into the new year. First and foremost, thoughts and prayers and to everybody out there in California, in the LA area, dealing with all those fires. I have some information we'll talk about and share here momentarily. So hang tight for that. Thank you for watching us. If we're on Facebook, you know where we are, Aaron's Hour show page, or the WWDB TV Las Vegas Facebook page. You got choices, because if you go there, you can see the plethora of options of shows you have. Now, if you're a YouTube fan, that's okay. I still love you. You know why? Because you can watch my Aaron's Hour show on YouTube or the WWDB TV YouTube channel. And of course, in a couple of days, if you like streaming services, like I spend most of my life on streaming when I'm in front of the television, go to Roku. That's right. The big Roku. Download the WWDB TV channel. And of course, there you'll see all the shows and the plethora of options you have. Not only of Aaron's Hour and Kiwanis Connection, doing it with Styles, cybersecurity, and everything you could ever want, but great shows there that John has available on WWDB TV. And speaking of Mr. Styles, good morning, sir, back there in Vegas. How are you today?
Say hello.
Hello. There you are. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Did you like my picture that I sent you of 7 of 9 this morning on Facebook?
Yes.
I thought you would appreciate that, Jerry Ryan.
I got one there. I got one over there. And she's up at the table. So
oh, yeah. Don't you
great picture. Great picture, yeah. Man. I love it. Yeah.
So how's life in Vegas? You guys, has anything changed in terms of the effects of the wildfire smoke or stuff coming your way?
Haven't gotten any smoke in here, and I'm thinking maybe it's because the the Santa Ana winds blow out towards the coast, so
okay.
I think that's probably helped. When the winds die down,
right,
it might be a different story. It may drift over here, but at this point, no. We're just trying to do what we can do here to help whatever we can help over there. So
absolutely. Well, that's good. I know many firefighting forces from all around the country are heading out that way. I know from Virginia Beach, I know a couple of squads are heading out that way. You mentioned yesterday on Kiwanis Connects that some of the companies there in Vegas are heading out. Along that line, on Kiwanis Connects yesterday, Val shared some information that I thought was vital for us to reshare regarding help and support for those of you out there dealing with the wildfires. And, it's unfortunate that looking at the pictures here on the East Coast, what's in the media, the devastation is almost similar to what Lahaina in Hawaii went through a couple of years ago with their complete destruction of their town and Palisades and those places. I mean, they're wiped off the map.
And you also have the hurricane in North Carolina.
Right, and we have the hurricanes out here. We had them back to back, right? We had Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And perhaps my guest who's with us today, he's sitting in the green room, Preston Kierson from Think Energy will be joining us after the break. He's down in Georgia. We'll ask him about whether he was affected at all by those hurricanes. Mother Nature, and then all the earthquakes that seems to be happening there on the West Coast. I mean, Mother Nature is trying to send a message to everybody. In the meantime, John, let's pull up that first slide from yesterday with all the resources there in California. So if you are in need of things, here is some information. These are shared on Facebook on both my page, Val's page, Val Klingerhofer Brown, and of course on the Kiwanis Connects page. If you need showers, Wi-Fi, or you need to change, go into any Planet Fitness out there. They will support you. You don't need your membership. Airbnb has worked out a great thing where you can go in for free temporary housing for those who've been displaced by the fire. If you're homeless and you did not have a home prior to the fire, unfortunately, you wouldn't qualify. I hate to say that, but yes, Lyft, free rides using the codes. Uber, use the codes that you see there. AT&T giving you unlimited talk, text, and data for about a month now. Calico Fish House, Pie Free Pizza, BU Vietnamese Restaurant are all providing food. Also, I believe all of those three or one of them, I don't remember which one, you can, if you're like where I am, if I want to go onto the sites of those restaurants, I can donate money to those restaurants because they're providing food for the folks who have been displaced for free. So if we want to support them, you have that option as well. Now, if you are in the area and you still don't know where to go, there are a couple of evacuation centers. However, I do believe the Pasadena Convention Center, or was it the rec center that Val said was already filled to capacity? Do you remember which one, John?
I believe it was a Pasadena, but I
Okay.
don't take it to the bank. Call and check. Find
Call
out.
and check. Absolutely. The Westwood Rec Center does accept small animals. The Pierce College will also accept some of the larger, animals that you may have. So these are some great resources. Again, if you missed any of this information, you can go to my Facebook page, Aaron Phillips. You can go on to the Kiwanis Connects page. This is all there, or just go back and rewatch the video. Let's go to the second slide, because if you have a situation where, you want to make a donation, the Kiwanis California, Nevada, Hawaii Children's Fund, if you want to just make a contribution to help those in need, you can click that QR code and you can make a small or donation of any amount, small, big, whatever you can do, and make a donation through the California, Nevada, Hawaii, CalNEVA Children's Fund, so that this way funds are available. Kiwanis can disseminate them out into helping families as well. And I'm sure once things settle down, the CalNEVA district, as well as Kiwanis International around the world, I'm sure will get into the heavy hands of being down on the ground and helping and support. Did we have another one, or is that it?
That's it.
Perfect.
That's it.
So again, please, everybody stay safe. Check in on your loved ones while you're out there. And one other thing I want to do, John, I'm going to put a website in the chat, in our chat there. If you could put that up when you get it. This is just a little selfish propaganda. I opened up a store, a merchandise store that you can get all of, you can get shirts, hats, cups, whatever it is, embroidered products with any and all logos that yours truly has been affiliated with over the years, including Worldwide Digital Broadcasting. If you want some swag with John's logo on it, you can get hats, shirts, scarves, mugs, whatever you want. So John's going to run the crawl at some point here of that store. It's called the Voice Store. Check it out. You know what? Gifts, we're always offering discounts right now. If you go out there, you can take 35% off your entire order, whether it's one piece or 100 pieces. Get 35% off and $5.95 shipping for the entire order. So check it out, thevoice.qbstores.com. You know what? If you want to get a shirt or a hat with the logo of Aaron's Hour, or like I said, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting, or Thoughts Count Anywhere, or Kiwanis Connects, or whatever, you can do that now. All right, with that, we have a few minutes left before we get to our guests. So you know what? It's time for Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right. Thank you, Batgirl. Good morning to Nielsen, my good friend. How are you out there? Thank you, Kathy Tutty, my friend. Thank you so much. You bet you're resharing that information. My absolute pleasure. Bob Larson's out there watching. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. Nielsen is down, if memory serves, down in Brazil. It's been a while. I hope all is well down there. All right, let's get to it. We're going to do some Vegas stuff first. Hey, listen, the month of January, I know we're 11 days in, but you know what? There's some great residencies. If you want to see some great shows out there in Vegas, I have a list of them here for you. From now until the 23rd, of course, you can see U2, the V-U2 immersive concert. That's down at the Sphere. They're back at the Sphere. January 3rd and 4th is gone. 15th through 19th, Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. King of Hearts at Encore Theater at Wynn. He's going to be there from 15th through the 19th of January. 17th through the 25th, the Eagles take over the Sphere. Watch where you step. Eagle. All right, never mind. January 22nd through the 25th, Shania Twain will be at the BACT Theater at Planet Hollywood. Pitbull, January 24th through the 25th. He'll be at Vegas After Dark at Le Bleu Live Theater at the Fontainebleau. That's how I like to say that. January 31st, Mariah Carey, the celebration of Mimi at Dolby Live Park at Park MGM. So those are some of the current, and I'll do this monthly because I have a whole list of them throughout the year. That's what you have available there in Vegas through the month of January. Hey, a man from California, actually from the Sacramento area, got the new year off started to a good point. Gentleman by the name of Crispin, last initial S, that's all he was willing to give. This past Thursday, he was at Red Rock Casino, one of the local casinos there in Vegas, placed a $2.50 bet at 2:35 a.m. Thursday morning. And the good gentleman on a Wheel of Fortune machine, you ready for this, John? He hit for $481,941.47. Again, $2.50 bet at that time he hit. But how many $2.50 bets did he actually place to get to that winning? Here's a couple more winnings that happened as well. Tuesday, December 10th, and this is just on the same type of slot machine, the Wheel of Fortune, which is one of the most popular, if the most popular slot machine there in Las Vegas. This was the latest big jackpot that hit on the Wheel of Fortune machines on December 17th. $1.4 million progressive hit at the Venetian off of a $9 bet. In July, a $2.1 million jackpot hit at the Palms Resort off of a $3 bet. And in June, a gambler at the California Hotel and Casino won $1.5 million once again on the Wheel of Fortune machine on a $5 bet. Now, this gentleman who just won, who reside in Sacramento at $500,000, I hope he's going to do something nice and make a small contribution to help his fellow Californians who are devastated by the fires. All right. Next piece of news in casino. This is some casino industry news in terms of revenue and stuff there in Las Vegas for the month of November. Of course, the month of November was, of course, Thanksgiving, but more importantly was the Formula One races. It was the second year. The Strip posted its seventh highest total win at $789 million compared to November 23. The casinos raked in about $821 million. So year over year, November of 24 was not so good as far as comparing it to the same time last year. However, the $821 million last year was the third highest total of all time, according to figures released by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Now, the difference, which was about $32 million, was almost a 4% decline for Strip casinos, followed concern that hotel room rates and ticket sales for the race itself dropped significantly, which they tend to do right before the event itself. Okay, so keep that in mind. Statewide, though, casinos won $1.3 billion, just squeaking into the top 10 of all time for winnings. All right, now let's quickly jump to some events here this way before we go to our first break. The 42nd annual Norfolk Waterfront Jazz will be taking place August 22nd through 23rd. I know that's 7 months down the line, but you better book it now from 5 to 11 p.m. This will be taking place. The Waterfront Festival, presented by Centara Health Plans, is expected to have performances by Brian Culbertson and Boney James. Other performers for this year's festival include Adam Hawley, Marion Meadows, Brian Simpson, Althea Renee, and more. Tickets will go on sale this Monday, the 13th. Go to festevents.org. Pre-sale already started yesterday, but full sale starts tomorrow, the 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, festevents.org. If you're into history, Colonial Williamsburg, which is about a 45-minute drive from where I am, has actually reduced prices for 2025. So single-day admission for adults is now $35. That's down 30% as a discount. Single-day admission for youth ages 6 to 12, only $10. That's down 66%. Children under 6, free. Online ticket purchases, an additional 10% savings. If you're a group school kids going, a school wants to arrange some trips, it's reduced only $10 per student. If you're a good neighbor, they have a good neighbor pass. Eligibility expands now to all residents of Williamsburg, James City County, and York County. Pass price for year-round access is only $35. Admission, though, to the art museums of Colonial Williamsburg is now free. However, access to the Heritage Auditorium may require an additional ticket price. For more information, go to colonialwilliamsburg.org/tickets. Now, while you're up there, they also have a restaurant week going on. That is taking place, actually started tomorrow, January 12th through the 19th. Gives residents a chance to try the top restaurants in Williamsburg with exclusive multi-course menus. There's 15 restaurants that are participating. Basically, just simply look up on Facebook. It is listed as an event on Facebook. Simply look up Restaurant Week Williamsburg or Williamsburg Restaurant Week. I believe they have it up there both. They have all 15 restaurants and menus will be supported there. You can see that there's a list of names right there. Last but not least, before we can go to break, if you're a fan of aviation and the Wright brothers, all right, this is pretty cool. The Wright Brothers National Memorial announced on Monday that they will waive entrance fees on 8 days throughout 2025. So Martin Luther King Day, January 20th, State of National Park Week, start of National Park Week, April 19th, June 19th, which is Juneteenth National Independence Day, August 4th, Great American Outdoors Act Signing Day, the 19th, National Aviation Day of August, August 27th, National Public Lands Day, November 11th, Veterans Day, and of course, December 17th, the 122nd anniversary of the Wright brothers' first flight. Just simply go to www.npsnationalparkservice.gov. They're located in North Carolina, which I found out not too long ago isn't all that far for me. And with that, it's a lot of stuff. If you missed anything, go back and rewatch it as always. We come back on the other side. Mr. Preston Kierson from Think Energy. Today's show is brought to you by Think Energy, Sweet Peas Bakehouse, Novelty Sports Art, Tidewater Community College, and Rustic Reclaim Design. Don't go anywhere. Preston will be with me right after this.
With an award-winning and dedicated faculty and 4 beautiful campuses, Tidewater Community College proudly serves nearly 25,000 students a year, 48% of whom pursue degrees that let them transfer to four-year institutions. At Tidewater Community College, 65% of our students attend part-time, so they can earn while they learn, and 1/3 of our students are military-related. Enroll today at Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
Founded in 2021 by husband and wife duo Jason and Melissa Taylor, Rustic Reclaim Design is a small business proudly owned by a woman and disabled Navy veteran. Rustic Reclaim Design specializes in custom handmade and laser engraved products. By combining craftsmanship and creativity, Rustic Reclaim Design delivers unique, high-quality items. Whether it is a personalized gift, something for the home, or a custom design, their mission is to create a piece that brings your vision to life. Visit us on Facebook by searching Rustic Reclaim Design. Send an email to sales@rusticreclaimdesign.com or simply call 757-567-2790. Rustic Reclaim Design is where we craft connections one unique piece at a time. It seems like the cost of keeping the lights on goes up way too often. Do you wish there was something you can do to control the energy costs in your own home to keep the lights on? I want you to Think Energy. Think Energy has partnerships across the country that takes advantage of solar farms. Solar farms actually reduce the dependency on your local electric company by having part of your electricity actually come from these solar farms, which in turn reduces your costs. To learn more, contact Preston Kierson by dialing 229-291-8329 or send an email to cp3foralltime@gmail.com. There is no better time to think energy. All right, welcome back to Aaron Zara with Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast. Couple of quick shout outs in the chat room. Good morning, Julie Lund down there in Texas. I'll be helping her take care of a family memorial actually via Zoom later on tonight, so I'll be doing that online. Curtis Dowdy, new friend of mine on Facebook. I'm going to announce this one. Curtis runs a group up here called Get a Grip BMX. They're a team. They compete across the country. Saw something on Facebook, so yours truly, The Voice, is a proud sponsor of Get a Grip BMX. That's right, I'm sponsoring BMX. With that, and without further ado, it is time to bring in my guest for today, Mr. Preston Kierson, representing Think Energy, which nowadays is very important when it comes time to wanting to save a few dollars in our lives and watching our budgets. And so, John, if you can bring Preston in as we see the circle of death. There he is, Mr. Preston. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Once again, I'm an independent energy advisor with Think Energy. And
Right.
we're basically helping people for free take advantage of either their state sponsored program that's in their state to help them get monthly discounts off their electricity bill, or help them get qualified for a fixed electricity rate and things of that.
All right. Well, we'll get into a little more detail about that in a little bit. First of all, down there in Albany, Georgia,
Yes,
we were talking about the weather before we got on the air. You're welcome, Curtis. What's going? Are you getting snow down there? You said even Georgia gets some snow, y'all down there.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, this cold weather ain't for me. Look, we like, right, I'm already got my heat on, trying to toast my feet and all that stuff like that. But in Atlanta, there, it's snowing there. Right now we're getting that rainy weather, but it's coming as a forecast that it's going to be actually freezing. So we actually got drip the faucets and do all that stuff like that.
Boy.
So I'm just like,
watch where you step. Watch where you step when you go outside, so you don't slip and fall on your backside.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned, we're going to talk about the energy stuff here in a moment. But I want to just, I've always been intrigued ever since my days when I used to sell timeshare in that wonderful industry many moons ago, a lifetime ago. One of the first things I always like to learn about people is why they do what they do for a living. What was like when I went off to college, which seemed like a century and a half ago, I was supposed to be a doctor. When you grow up in a Jewish family, you either become a doctor and a lawyer, and neither one of those worked out, hence doing what I do today. So I'm always intrigued by what people were doing in their life before they got to the point of what they're doing now. So in your bio, you are still a pharmacy tech. Is that correct? You still help with that stuff. Do you work for a big company or do you work for like a private pharmacy?
Well, I work for in retail, like a local CVS and things like that.
Okay. So how did you get into that 7 years ago?
All right. Well, 7 years ago, I got in that, went to a local technical college, learned some, the little details about the different types of drugs and things, like drug classes and things like that. And then when I got into retail, I got hired at my first W-2 job. I had worked, I recycled cans, done all these little odd jobs, helped around people, help people with tasks, do move furniture, do things for people prior to that. But then when I first got hired at my first job at CVS or whatever, my sister had moved. My dad had got laid off at the particular time. So I was the only person in the house working. So around this particular time where we were staying at, the electricity bill was like ridiculously high. And, I went and paid it after I worked, because my store that I was working at, I got hired at the time, didn't have a manager, a store manager, because that person was in the works of being hired. So in between time, they had floaters from other stores come in, fill in. And so I had to work, because we didn't have those many people. We had sometimes days I had worked 12-hour shifts or, help fill in. And I worked all that, did all that, getting paid minimum wage, do all that. And then I go and pay my first electricity bill. And I paid that thing. And right after that, I was basically back broke. So I understood.
How much was it?
It was probably like, $400 to maybe in the $600 area. It's been a minute. It's just like right after, because I remember I had got paid at the time around $610 and some change, and then I had paid that first electricity bill, and now I was back broke, and I was like, this is being an adult. I get it. We pay our bills. That's our responsibility as human beings. Take care of ourselves, take care of the people we care about, things like that. But, there's got to be a better way.
That's a great segue into what you do, because that had to have been a rude awakening. $400 to $600 electric bill. I cringe when mine goes over $200. But now, I'm in a house here in Virginia Beach. I have a pool for the summertime. It's cold. Now the heat's running. I'm almost afraid to open up my electric bill when I get it from Dominion Energy. But and I think a lot of people feel trapped with their utility bills, gas and electric in particular. But let's talk about the electric side for a moment in general terms, because we know solar energy. I used to sell solar energy in Vegas years ago for a very short time, similar to what you do with some of the connections you have with community solar and stuff. But solar power is really becoming a forefront with wind power, right? We see all those big turbines out in the field. So solar now, in the commercial we just ran, explain what a solar farm is, even though we showed the visual in the commercial. Let's talk about solar farm and how that could possibly help save money on energy, which will be a little tease for when we come back from break at the bottom of the hour. Talk about solar farms.
Well, solar farms is basically it looks different ways, has different looks to it. Some cases it can be solar panels out in the field. Doesn't always have to be. There's just different forms of it. But ultimately, somebody owns land, has the solar panels on there, produces a percentage of certain amount of energy, and in order for them to come online to make money, they need people to be enrolled. They need people to be going on here, and since their electricity that they produce is localized, since because one of the ways that makes electricity on our electricity bill so expensive is the delivery fees and things like that, because the power plant has to send you electricity through those miles and miles of power lines to get to your house or apartment. Well, when it's localized like that in your own zip code, and because the electricity that they produce is relatively cheap, that does not it reduces your costs. And since they it can help you save between like 5 to 25% off your electricity bill monthly. So
Right.
and that's without doing anything outrageous, coming into your pocket, going into depth, doing anything that might inconvenience you, that might be something inconvenience. It's something that could benefit majority of most people. It just depends on what the conditions are. So we can look at the conditions and which zip code you're in and see if it makes sense. You get
And
what
we'll talk about that in a second for compatibility for the programs, because when we come back on the other side of the break, we'll get into how people can see if they qualify. Part of it's contacting you, but I want people to visualize. People grow crops, they grow corn, they grow lettuce, they grow whatever. Solar farms is basically the same thing. People are just growing energy through the use of their panels. They're storing it, right? And the local energy companies are dipping into those sources of power to pass on to Mr. or Mrs. Consumer who sign up for the right to use some of that energy, correct? Is that a very simplified approach to making sense of it?
Yes, and they just get like a percentage of it, and that percentage is attached to their electricity bill as a solar credit, even though they didn't install any solar panels. But because the solar panels were already installed in that field over there, so
Gotcha.
it allows them to get that discount. Okay,
and that's a great concept, because for people who want to take advantage of solar power, and for all intents and purposes, like I said, you and I are both I was in the industry. Sometimes putting solar panels on a roof is not cost effective for a lot of people early on, but they still want the benefits of solar energy to save some money. So taking advantage of these solar farm arrangements sounds like it's a great starting point for many, or stopgap point for many, to start saving on their electric before perhaps they can get into a position, if they choose to want to put panels on the roof.
Yes, and that's what drew me to this, because it's like this is that missing piece, so that because eventually community solar is going to be everywhere, but right now it's kind of like it's on the books in several states, but not many people are aware of it, and that's why we're having this conversation, to bring awareness to the people that, hey, that one discount that you've always wanted for your electricity bill, that exists now, and it's a tangible, real thing, so we can help you out with that.
All right, before we go to break, real quickly, let's give people either your phone number, website, contact information. Let's do that now. John can put a crawl up across as well, but let's have people ready to reach out to you after the show.
My personal phone number is 229-291-8329. They do have a website for Think Energy, which is like, my link is get.thinkenergy. Let me type it in. I guess that'll make it .com.
So it's get.thinkenergy.
Thinkenergy .com / and I'm gonna put capital C P3 I'm putting in. I'm typing in. You're gonna see.
Oh, you're typing it into the private chat for John? Okay.
Energy and capital S Solutions. And what it's gonna be? It's gonna be a link where you can go into the website, put in your zip code, and get see if what we offer is available in your particular state in that local zip code. If it's not, you can sign up for when to get notifications when it is available in your state, and we can go on from there. In certain states, we offer community solar. Other states, we offer fixed electricity rates. Other states, we offer both. And then it's there's so much more that's coming down the pipeline. With it's amazing. So I'm just gonna hold on that.
Save on that. We're going to step aside for a second break of the show. Again, I just want to remind everybody that today's show is brought to you by Sweet Peas Bakehouse, Novelty Sports Art, Tidewater Community College, Rustic Reclaim Design, and of course, Think Energy. Coming up next, a couple of messages from those sponsors and more with Preston right after this.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithazbakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos Raiders, Packers Vikings, Washington Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsarts.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. A couple of quick notes on a couple of those sponsors. Novelty Sports Art, I saw a pre-release. Basketball drip art is on its way. I saw a demo piece. Rod was kind enough to show me yesterday, so be on the lookout for basketball. And Sweet Peas Bakehouse, I was meeting with Pamela yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Within the next week or two, shipping, you'll be able to order her good stuff anytime in the next week or two, anywhere in the United States. So be prepared. You can order some of that goodness coming to your house, home delivered. Which, by the way, Curtis, if you're still listening, probably a good idea to get some healthy snacks in for your for now my partial BMX sports team. Get those guys fueled up with some good nutrition. Might be something to look into. All right, Preston Kirsten from Think Energy is with us now. We were talking about solar farms and whatnot, but before we get back to that, I have a couple of other quick rapid fire. First thing that comes off to your mind question. No thinking. No calling for help. This is like whatever comes to mind. You ready? Who is your favorite actor of all time?
Denzel Washington pops up in my head the first thought.
Everybody does. Denzel seems to be the fallback for everybody.
Yeah.
How about favorite actress?
Who's
your cat's meow?
There's a lot of people like Chloe Kravitz is like, but that's I think that's her name, Chloe Kravitz.
Okay.
As a
what's your favorite all-time movie? So that when it comes on the air, you grab your favorite snack, your favorite adult beverage, perhaps your favorite adult companion. You turn off your phone. You're not bothered by anything for a couple of hours to watch what movie?
That's a good question. That's a good question because, oh man, Mm, mm, mm.
That's why I get paid the big bucks to answer
Hey
these
man,
stump-like questions.
yeah, that's a good question, man.
All
I
right,
like
I'll let you think on that one. And then we'll head back after this next one. What's your favorite music genre?
I
Kind of
love
music.
like R&B.
Okay.
I like the melodies, the different patterns that people sing. I like it's like certain tones and certain tunes that just bring out the emotion and things like
Okay.
that. It's like um
So give
in
me
the
an example.
runs.
So here's one that'll tie into that. What is your all-time favorite R&B song? So that when you're driving around town, you hear it come on your radio, you're at a traffic light, you don't care what you look like doing karaoke in your car, singing to this song, people are looking in, wondering if you're okay in there. What song is that for you that you're doing your own karaoke to?
That's a solid question. That's a solid question. That's crazy. I like okay, because mm, there's so many. Like I listen like right now. Like I listen to R&B
Give me a song. Give me a
song.
song you're karaokeing
I
to.
like
You know,
one good song that I used to love singing a lot of times back. A few years back was "Wasted Times" by The Weeknd. The Weeknd as a artist or a singer, not everything he sings about that was like 100% awesome or cool or whatever like that. It's just the
okay.
way that the sentiment and some of the stuff he was saying,
Yep.
it it just struck a nerve for some reason. You know what
All
I'm
right.
saying? And I
Fair enough.
really
Fair enough. All right, let's get back to it. If you want to call Preston and talk about and find out if you're even eligible for some of these discounts, give him a call at area code 229-291-8329. His website scrolling across the bottom there, as well as his phone number. The man has the questions. Now, let's get back to it. So solar, right now, the company or Think Energy, how many states do they have programs in right now? And because you said earlier, more and more stuff's coming down the pike, which means more and more relationships are probably coming. How many states right now offer savings opportunities for consumers?
Well, right now I think it's about 11 active states, 11 or 13-ish active states because and we're branching into other ones like later on this year, California and um yeah, California and well, I know California definitely this year, but we're also looking at Ohio and Pennsylvania and maybe even Washington and maybe even Oregon and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right now, the current active states that we're currently like supplying customers is with community solar. It's going to be Colorado, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, well, New Jersey, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Rhode Island, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. Now,
Okay.
for just electricity, we have Ohio, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Texas. And with Texas is very different because like they have like termination fees and stuff like that if you switch providers and things like that. But they have like this new app. They have fixed rates. We only offer fixed electricity rates. Okay, right?
Lost your audio, Preston. You hit mute somehow. Lost your audio. All right, while Preston figures out how to get himself off. There you go. Now give it a shot.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep.
Cool beans. All right. So, in the states like Texas, they have different. They actually have like an app out there that they're trying out in Texas, where not only do they offer fixed electricity.
Lost you again. Check your connection because we were getting some buzz in there. We're getting some buzz. You're back on mute again. All right. So while he's checking that, I can tell you that. Thanks, John. I can tell you that I went through the exercise for Virginia, and if memory serves with Dominion Energy, it was about a 10% savings that I was able to save. However, I did not qualify as of yet because of length of time that I've been here. So there's some unique opportunities that are available through Virginia Beach. But again, for me, did not qualify initially. We're still working on that. And, but my wife and I have always talked about potentially doing solar panels, and this is going to be a segue. Preston, give your mic a chance. Let's see if we got you back. Nope, not yet. Not yet. That's all right. That's all right. Stay with it. We'll get it back. That through his channels with Think Energy and Community Solar, which we'll have him talk about. Go ahead. Take it off mute, though. I see the mute button on. Okay. Give it a shot.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So with community, in the context of Think Energy, we only can offer with this company that I'm presenting and talking to you about. They only talk about like community solar. They don't want to associate it with installing rooftop solar and things like that. So in this context, even though I do have connections in rooftop solar area and stuff like that personally on an individual, in this context, we're just going to, can talk about the community solar and how we can help them out, help people out with community solar, help them out for free.
And that's good, because I wanted to make that distinction for people to understand where you are in this relationship. So I'm glad you clarified that.
All right.
So what is something in conversation you and I talked about, third pillar of solar? What is that? You have about 3 minutes to try to explain that before I have to go to my last break.
Well, oftentimes when we think about solar, first thing that comes to mind is rooftop solar, residential solar, solar on top of houses. Second one is the commercial solar, which is for businesses. That's something that every once in a while, in a blue moon, you might see, or you may not just see it because it's on a factory, on a plant somewhere, or whatever. But with community, I look at community solar as that third piece, because it's like, this is the stuff that people wanted for renters. This is the stuff that homeowners who didn't qualify for rooftop solar, how they can have hope and still save. This can help the small to medium-sized businesses, so that even if they can't, we're a commercial business, but we can't afford the big price for cutting our electricity bill like a big factory can. This is a way that you could take advantage of with partnerships with these solar farms and taking advantage of the state-sponsored program. Like, these are laws on the books that's legit, that's out here that people just don't know about. And that's why we have the conversations and talk to people and let them know what's going on, because now you don't have, the only reason why you wouldn't do it if you qualified would be just because you just didn't try. You just didn't want to. At least try to find out what can I do in my current situation to give me the best possible outcome. And if it works, it works.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I had in my meeting yesterday with somebody, we were talking about doing something, and there was a little hesitation, and I said to the person exactly what you just said. You don't know unless you ask. Worst case scenario, if the answer is no, you're no worse off than you are right now. But imagine if yes was the answer, and you can get those savings, or you have a good conversation with somebody that you'd been dreading because you thought it wouldn't work out. Just do it. There's the only loss that you would have if it doesn't work out is maybe the 15 minutes that you had in a conversation to find out if you even qualify or are eligible for these savings. So that being said, reminder, give Preston a call as we get ready to go to break. Give him a call at 229-291-8329, the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen, or just check out his website. You can contact him there at get.thinkenergy.com/CP3 Energy Solutions. And yes, he is a Chris Paul fan, which is why CP3 is in there, by the way, for those who were wondering. Right? I got you. I got the code. I got your code, Preston. All right. With that, folks, we're going to step aside for our final break of the live show. You're watching Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. We'll be right back.
Your path to a meaningful career begins at Tidewater Community College. We're here to help you every step of the way, from application to financial aid, to helping you transfer to the four-year college of your choice and even placement in in-demand careers. Whether you're looking to transition from the military, want to go part-time while you work, or make a full-time career change, TCC is here for you with multiple campuses throughout the region. Enroll today at Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Washington, Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsart.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithazbakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
All right, welcome back to Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips. Preston Kierson joins me from Think Energy. And did I nail you on Chris Paul or what there, my friend?
It's my full name is like I'm the third in the.
Oh, okay. Well, I like my story better.
I got you. I got you.
All right. Before we wrap up with Think Energy, I have a couple of more bizarro questions for you, just to keep things light for another couple of minutes. Not that it's been a serious conversation, but we've covered some really important stuff that I think people sometimes forget and think they can't do anything about, and that's their energy costs. So let's kind of have a little fun here for a few minutes. What is your all-time dream car, presuming you don't already have it, that you would like to see parked in your driveway someday?
You know what? I'm kind of weird because like I don't have like a dream car. My mindset is like I want to have a good functioning car that's decent. Well,
Okay.
like even if I had a 1990s car or a certain particular year model that I could go down there and fix it myself, because you could do it
Right.
if you went down to AutoZone. But anyway,
Okay.
I would have everything in that car taken care of, or
Okay.
buy me another 2015 2019 2017 Nissan or something like that, whatever, Altima, whatever.
So your dream car is a reliable one.
Yeah, a reliable one, but it's in good condition because I took care of it.
Gotcha. What's your bucket list vacation? Do you have a dream vacation that you'd like to go to, or somewhere, or something to do?
I would love to go to like the Bahamas. I would probably love to oh man, there's like a cave. There's like this weird cave in, I guess, somewhere in the Asia. It's like some type of Asian island. Maybe it's like in Micronesia, Indonesia area.
Okay.
And it's like a place where the cave meets the jungle.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to see that. Like, that is cool. It's cool stuff like that.
Does that mean I'll see you on an upcoming episode of Survivor, maybe?
not likely. I'm not. Not that.
Not like that. Okay, gotcha. All right, couple of quick questions before we get back to wrapping up. If a movie were made about your life in the future, who would you like to see star as you?
Tay Diggs. Cause
Okay.
hey, Diggs, he smiles and like a lot of times they used to say, you know, I
you
look
know
like
what?
him and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I could definitely see that. So I think Ty Diggs is a good one. All right. 2 last questions. Number 1, I hope you get this one right. Who's your favorite superhero, Batman or Superman?
I like Batman because hey, there's some dope iterations of Superman. Do not get me wrong. Like, there was like a story about him splitting in half. a there's some dope iterations of Superman. Don't get me wrong. But Batman, even though of course some of his stuff is just OP and stuff like that,
Sure.
some of his stuff actually has like makes sense in what he
Right.
does and what he do. Before they over exaggerate it, you know, he's actually trying to learn, trying to, you know, improve, and he notices like even with him battling with the Joker
Yep.
can sometimes be really smart too.
Yep.
He recognizes that there's a thin line that he has to watch, you know, take care, make sure he keeps himself from crossing that line and things like that.
Absolutely.
So he could
Absolutely.
wind up being just like them, which is cool. I mean, he
So
still has that restraint.
So what is your favorite iteration of Batman? Who or what actor, or like who's your favorite Batman then?
I think my favorite, like one of the best movies I've seen for Batman was like the Dark Knight Rises or something like that, the one with Heath Ledger in it. Like
Okay, so
that one was really, it was
that's Christian
immediate.
Bale. So that's
Yeah, with
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
immediate action, dog. And then
Oh,
on top of
absolutely
that,
was. Absolutely. All right,
immediate,
last question of that, and then I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. I'm just watching the
good.
time for us. So here's the only question of those that I ask with any serious nature is this last one. When the time comes that you are greeted at the pearly gates by the maitre d', and that's going to be a long time from now, what is it you want to hear the maitre d' say to you upon entering into the pearly gates? What is the message you want to hear?
I want to know, I mean, I want to show that I have lived up to being a human. Being that while I was here on this earth, I was able to take care of people and put them in a winning position and actually make their life, the actual outcome, better.
Right on.
I want, you know, that's what I want. And
Okay. So you want to be acknowledged for helping others be in a better place than they were before they met you.
Yeah. And that's all I want. And I don't have to, you know, anything else. All the other stuff is extra benefits, but at least I was able to do that one thing.
Right on. Good for you. All right. Well, I like that because that's going to provide a nice segue into tying up everything about what we're talking about here in the last couple of minutes we have. So what I want you to do, I want you to kind of summarize what we just talked about, what Think Energy is and what your hopes are in it, like a final thought kind of thing. How would you tie all this up in what it is that you would love to have people reach out to you for, the benefits, all that sort of stuff? It's like this is your moment. Think of this like a wrestling promo. You got your opponents out there, and that's the consumers who want to save money on their electric bill, don't know what to do. They're afraid, they're this, they're that. What message you want to give them in order to say, it's okay, reach out to me, tell them why?
There are state-sponsored programs in several states across America that people are not aware of. And community solar, which is with the solar farm thing that we were talking about, that's what that is. And based off of the connections that we have through Think Energy and things of that nature, that allows me to help you for free to be able to save. There's no like, it doesn't matter if you're a homeowner or a renter or small to medium-sized business. If you are in the zip code, you're in the area, and that you meet their requirements, you can get between 5 to 25% off of your electricity bill for free. You didn't have to install anything. You didn't have to do anything out of pocket. You ain't had no credit checks, nothing. And it's going to put money back in your pocket. And guess what? It's in that zip code. As long as you don't, move around too much. Even then, if you're in that state, you still can, if you move around, you can still, if you're in a zip code that we service, they'll still rewire it to you. But as long as you're in that zip code for up to the next 20 years, you can get savings. And that's crazy to me, but that gives me the opportunity to open my hand and give it to you.
There you go.
That's
I
what-
like it. I like it. You can reach out to Preston again, area code 229-291-8329. Email him or contact him, get.thinkenergy.com/CP3 Energy Solutions. You can also look him up on Facebook. He's out there too. That's where he and I, we connect out there quite a lot and have some fun going back and forth. Look, folks, the bottom line is this. You know me after over 19 years doing this, that I would not talk about something that wouldn't have a lot of value to you as a consumer or me as someone as a consumer that I've not tried and would recommend. And although I didn't initially qualify, that doesn't mean I'm still not interested in staying in the loop. I have gone through the process, and I will be on the task of saving money on my electric bill once some things work themselves out with Dominion Energy and what we can do here. Check it out. You have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain. Savings on your electric bill. We're in the winter, man. Cold, heat, everything's going to go up. Summer, those of you who have pools and like to run their air conditioners, man, save some money at this time for sure. You have nothing to lose. Check it out. Give them a call. And I encourage my buddy John back there in Vegas. I don't know if you're offering anything in the state of Nevada. I'm not asking you to answer, but it's probably worth John reaching out to you for both his business and his home to see if the state of Nevada is something that you guys can do some with. And those of you out in California, you mentioned earlier that perhaps you mentioned that California is a state coming down the pike soon. Is that right, Preston? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, we're expecting. Matter of fact, the CEO of the company is going to be having another in a few days, like a state of address for the company, and he's going to be talking about new things that we're going to be launching out. There's several different ways that we can add value to our customers' lives and be able to help them save and put more money in their pockets while we get to make money on top of that at the same time. That's
I'm just thinking of the families affected out there in LA right now, that as they rebuild, as they try to get their lives back together with whatever energy savings and support that those families can use with the help of you through Think Energy, I would think would be something that would be vital as a provided resource for you and your company to try to work with the power companies out there for those who are trying to reestablish their lives and need energy. Get them hooked up right away, because I can't imagine they wouldn't want the savings, need the savings, and at this point having total devastation of their lives, losing everything.
Yeah.
I would dare say that they would probably qualify. All right, with that, my friend Preston, thank you so much for coming on today. As you have updates, you got to let me know. We'll bring you on to share whatever news there is that Think Energy has to offer. I want to thank you for representing Think Energy and becoming part of the Aaron Zauer family of advertisers and sponsors. I want to remind everybody, you can also get to Preston's website by simply going to aaronzauer.vegas, my website. Click on sponsors. You'll see his logo right there. You just click on that. That'll take you right to his website. If you can't remember, get.thinkenergy.com/Chris Paul III Energy, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I'm only kidding. You can go back and rewatch it, get it here, or like I said, just go to my website, aaronzauer.vegas, and check it out. And while you're there, you can also go to the shop tab. You'll see my stuff there and all the other stuff. A lot of good information. Next week's show, Tema Hammond, the founder of GoldenNetwork.tv, will be on to talk about all the new stuff coming down the pike for GoldenNetwork.tv coming in 2025. That's John's favorite second network behind WWDB-TV. All right, with that, everybody, want to thank you all for watching. Again, everybody out there in the California area, please continue to be safe. Right now, 11 lives have been reported lost, which, given all the devastation that's out there, that's a very small, insignificant number in the scope of the devastation. One life is too many. 11, given what's been going on out there thus far. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't go up anymore. With that, everybody, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Thank you for watching Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. We'll see you next week right here on WWDB-TV. Thank you for watching. Founded in 2021 by husband and wife duo Jason and Melissa Taylor, Rustic Reclaimed Design is a small business proudly owned by a woman and disabled Navy veteran. Rustic Reclaimed Design specializes in custom handmade and laser engraved products. By combining craftsmanship and creativity, Rustic Reclaimed Design delivers unique, high-quality items. Whether it is a personalized gift, something for the home, or a custom design, their mission is to create a piece that brings your vision to life. Visit us on Facebook by searching Rustic Reclaimed Design. Send an email to sales@rusticreclaimdesign.com or simply call 757-567-2790. Rustic Reclaimed Design is where we craft connections one unique piece at a time. It seems like the cost of keeping the lights on goes up way too often. Do you wish there was something you can do to control the energy costs in your own home to keep the lights on? I want you to Think Energy. Think Energy has partnerships across the country that takes advantage of solar farms. Solar farms actually reduce the dependency on your local electric company by having part of your electricity actually come from these solar farms, which in turn reduces your costs. To learn more, contact Preston Pearson by dialing 229-291-8329 or send an email to cp3foralltime@gmail.com. There is no better time to think energy.